Good evening, everybody, and thank you as always for joining us here on Speed Racing Network. We have another action-packed race here at Talladega Superspeedway with the Rat Pack Racing Cash Dash race number 4, and tonight we are going to be in the Truck Series. And as you can see, it's just me here today, no other help here in the booth, so it's going to be a lot of fun spending the next hour and a half with you guys. But before we get out to the track, let's go ahead and check out these awesome sponsors that help us out here at Speed Racing Network. First up is going to be Elite Performance Industries, and they can provide you with any type of setup, any type of scheme, any type of coaching or apparel that you're looking for. Next up will be Flavor Bomb. Go check them out at fbbbq.com. Travis Hale does an amazing job over there and has some great seasoning for you if you're looking to get some chili seasoning or anything for like a steak or a burger. It's almost that time of year again where we're going to be back outside once this snow goes away and grilling out there on that grill. So go ahead, check them out. Once again, fbbbq.com. And also Sparkle and Shine Mobile Detailing, located primarily out of Hastings, Florida, but starting to expand a little bit. Go check them out. They got all kinds of stuff for detailing your car. And they also just got their leather repair certification as well. So if you're looking to get that leather seat repaired in that car, go ahead and give them a check out. And also, Allie.Duke at minivanvacations.com. She is an awesome travel agent. She can pretty much send you anywhere you want to go in the world. And I say this every week to you guys. We can all use a vacation, so why not go ahead and check her out? She can set you up very nicely. And then once and final for all here, Dave Jr. Graphics. Dave Fuge does amazing work here with these paint schemes and has a lot of fun doing it too. So go ahead and see what he's done in the past and what he could possibly do for you guys in the future. But that is going to be our 5 main sponsors here tonight. Let's go ahead and get out to the track and see what we got going on out there. You can see the conditions looking pretty cloudy here tonight. 66 degrees, only 1% humidity, but there you see overcast skies and 2-mile-per-hour winds. So not a bad day down in Talladega, Alabama, this 2.65-mile super speedway where they're going to be doing some high-speed racing here in the Truck Series. But these guys are going to be racing for quite a bit here tonight. Now, the winner going to come away with a nice $300. So, yeah, they are going to be high tensions out there on the track tonight. Second place going to come away with a nice chunk of change too. I believe they're going to come away with $100 as well. So, you know, they're paying 1st through 10th here in these races. So the top 10 all going to be battling for that top prize. But still, you finish at the top 10, you're going to get a decent chunk of change. But another cool thing that they do here with the Rat Pack Racing Cash Dash, 11th through 25th will be entered for a random draw and a chance to get their $20 entry fee back in their pockets. So we've had 3 winners of that already since this is race number 4, and I can tell you for a fact that they are quite excited once they find out that they won that random drawing. But yeah, you see it right there. If you're interested in racing, make sure you go join the Rat Pack Racing Discord. David Duke can get you all set up. But there you see, these trucks are starting to grid out there on the track here at Talladega. So let's go ahead and give you that rundown of how this starting grid is going to line up here tonight. Getting the pole, Troy Techmeyer in that 32 truck, and just outside on row 1 here is going to be Bobby Anderson in that 18 machine, just 2/1000ths of a second off of Techmeyer's pace. Row 2 going to see Blair Holloman and Kyle Spees. Row 3 going to be John Osborne and Lucas Lyons. Row 4 going to be Tristan Bailey and Austin Reedy. Row 9 looking like Aaron Roth and Bo Tiffany. Mike Mosby and Zach Burgess going to be on row 6. Taking a look at row 7, Brandon Key and Craig Lautenslager. And row 8 going to be the back-to-back winner here in the Rat Pack Racing Cash Dash, Michael Madden in that lucky number 224 machine here. And then Nathan Nixon, his teammate, just starting to his outside. Row 9 going to be John T. Wimbish, last week's pole sitter. He's back in 17th this week. Chris Bishop going to be just his outside in 18th. And then row 10 going to be Robert Anderson and Andrew Santo. Row 11, John Doc Holliday and Brandon Browning. Row 12, Daniel Keith and Ryan Steenbachers. Row 13 going to be Tyler Murray and Jordan Sailors. Row 14 going to be Tommy Haynes and Casey Latimer. And row 15 going to be Kyle Wimble and Joseph Sizik. Row 16 going to be Brandon Richardson and Errol Brinkleson. Row 17 going to be William Voigt and Danny Dow. Row 18 going to be Travis Anderson and Josh Siegfried. And then row 19 going to be Justin Botello and Nash Brambilla. Two names I'm hoping that I don't have to say too much tonight because they are very difficult, but I'm sure we'll see them up front at some point. And then rounding out our field in row 20 going to be Cody Madden and Rob Yost Jr. So that is a look at our starting lineup here tonight. Let's go ahead and get down there on the track and see all these guys getting ready to take the green flag here at Talladega Super Speedway. Pace truck lights are off as they go around the backstretch of this 2.65 mile oval located in Alabama. And man, we had an awesome race last week with the Xfinity cars in Daytona Beach. I expect to see a lot of the same here this week. Kind of got a little bit scattered out because we had a long green flag run to end it. Only one caution last week, which kind of was a shocker, I'm not going to lie. But yeah, nonetheless, they are going to try to do the same and replicate that here tonight. So let's get this thing ready to go as they start heading around turns 3 and 4. So before we get going, as always here on Speed Racing Network, make sure that you are signed up if you want to race with SRN this year. It is getting ever closer, only 18 days away from the duels. Head over to speedracingnetwork.com if you're interested in joining this awesome league. But before we get to that, we have another Rat Pack Racing Cash Dash on our hands here tonight. Pace Truck is off as they make their way back to the start-finish line. And it's always a little odd here at Talladega as it's not right in the center of the dog leg here, but the green flag is out and we are underway. Blair Holloman already giving a big push to Troy Techmeyer, but Kyle Speed's getting a really good jump on the outside and then bringing Lucas Lyons, I believe that is, with him behind him. Not sure. So it looks like Bobby Anderson is actually the truck sitting out front right now, but scoring really not reflecting that. Or the numbers could be wrong for all I know. It's been a thing that's been kind of happening here. But nonetheless, I'm going to go ahead and try to get that sorted out here as the scoring gremlins strike again. So taking a look here at Kyle Spees. Yeah, that is Bobby Anderson sitting out in front. So let me go ahead, pull this down for you guys and go ahead and get that sorted out as we cross the stripe, taking lap 2 here at Talladega Superspeedway.
Want to be a part of an established league on iRacing? A league that's competitive, fun, and above all fair? Look no further than Speed Racing Network. Originally known as Mid-South Madness, SRN has evolved into a league that can bring the best out in any given driver. Drivers work their way up through the ranks to hopefully one day call themselves a champion of Speed Racing Network. If you're interested in joining, don't hesitate to reach out to league admins to claim your spot today. Maybe you'll end up in the history books. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor in Speed Racing Network, feel free to head over to www.speedracingnetwork.com and reach out to an admin today. And as always, remember to go faster.
And there you go. We got it all sorted out for you guys. This thing just loves to give me a huge headache week in and week out. But once again, working out any of the gremlins and gonna figure it out eventually on how to get this thing updated between qualifying and race time. So apologies for that, but appreciate the quick commercial break for Speed Racing Network there. Like I said, if you're interested at all, go check them out at speedracingnetwork.com. But didn't miss any of the action out there, as you know, still 2x2 for about 12 to 15 rows back. Some great side-by-side racing here early on lap 4, and nothing doing up front. Bobby Anderson still leading that outside lane, but there you see it, a third lane starting to break out here. See if we can go back a little bit and see what is going on here, and that is the back-to-back winner there, Michael Madden. He's won this thing the last 2 weeks, and also has won the last 2 Sparkle and Shine Dirty Rat races, which get him a free entry into these things. So if I'm out there on the track, I'm looking for this guy to get him, or get me up front as well as himself. But early on, we're seeing some side-by-side 3-wide racing here at Talladega. Back up front, nothing changing here as Kyle Spees and Bobby Anderson still working really well together. Look at these bumpers really close to one another. That's what you want. But then as I say that, Kyle Spees almost makes a move on Bobby Anderson. Bobby Anderson not having any of that, but it's going to try to bring his teammate Lucas Lyons with him. Lucas decides to go to the outside. This is going to make it 3 wide here up front at Talladega. So these guys really wanting to lead early. Don't get anything for leading these laps, but still, I think they see the safest spot on the track as being up front. But quickly already to lap 6 out of 75. And want to reiterate that they have lowered the fuel supply in these trucks down to 50%. So not going to have a lot of time to burn this fuel, especially if you're up front too. Going to be using a lot more throttle than those guys just riding in the draft back here. But there we see Blair Holloman opting to get out of this mess. He sees the 3-wide racing up front here and is deciding against it here. But Lucas Lyons leading that inside lane, but now newcomer Nathan Nixon to the front in that Urable Ford F-150 out of Rev Racing, getting a really good push from Austin Reedy, a name that we're familiar with seeing here on Speed Racing Network. So those two working really well together. And look at that. That 224 truck is already the 3rd truck in line on that outside lane, up 9 positions already, up to 5th place. Well, actually, as I say that, he drops back to 7th. So he, nonetheless, making his way up to the front of this pack. But this middle lane starting to lose a little bit of steam as these guys down on that inside lane really working well together and keeping really tight on the bumpers, and that's what you want to avoid the drag on the rear spoilers of these trucks and ultimately make you faster. Here at the super speedways, we see it at Daytona all the time. You see it here at Talladega as well, and if you're familiar with iRacing, you see it at iRacing Super Speedway as well. But I mean, we have a good 21 trucks, and as I say that, we have Rex back here, Tyler Murray taking a spin. Gonna see if we can figure out exactly what happened. See Tyler Murray getting it back together here. Let's go ahead and check a replay out of what just happened. See, they were almost 4 wide back here, and I'm not sure who that 14 truck is. I'm going to try figure out. That's Chris Bishop that just didn't have the room beneath him there. Let's see if we can take another look from possibly the Blimp Cam. See him there in the middle in that 14, that orange truck there right in the middle. Not expecting a truck to be that high, I don't think, and then just catches, I believe that's the 799 of Ryan Steenbacher's. Let's see if we can get a perspective from his cockpit for Steenbacher's here. And yeah, he's lifting because he sees what's happening right in front of him, and even so, he's still not able to avoid the 14, but does a fantastic job of working his way through that. No damage on the front, maybe a little bit of damage on the front of that Dairy Queen sponsored 799, but he can get that fixed up. And another benefit to these drivers too is they do have one fast repair here in the Rat Pack Racing Cash Dash. So admin's kind of helping them out with that and giving them a little bit of leeway for any trouble that they find themselves in. But a lot of drivers going to be coming down pit road this time to fill up on the fuel as we're already to lap 9 of this race. So let's go ahead and give you guys a preview of what to expect here in the coming weeks. We have one more Rat Pack Racing Cash Dash race scheduled before the beginning of Speed Racing Network's third season. So that last Rat Pack race is going to be on February 19th. And then we are into the Daytona Duels on February 22nd and 24th. The following week is going to be the actual Daytona points race, March 1st to the 3rd. And then these guys are going to head out west to Phoenix Raceway, March 15th to the 17th. And the 2-week break there is going to be because of an iRacing build week. We like to avoid those here in SRN because they do change up a lot of things on these guys sometimes. So giving them the benefit of the doubt to get those kinks or, gremlins, as we like to call them, sorted out with iRacing. Then after Phoenix, we're going to come back to the East Coast and go to Atlanta Motor Speedway, March 22nd to the 24th, and that will be a very exciting race as it's going to be the new surface that they just built out of Atlanta. It's going to be a totally different track from what these guys are used to. And then speaking of totally different tracks, they're going to go to the Circuit of the Americas just after that. That'll be March 29th to the 31st, and if you're into road course racing, that is one to catch because it is a sight to see these stock cars going around what is practically a Formula One racetrack. So it is going to be very tight racing, but hey, we have some road course ringers in this league that are going to make it look absolutely easy. So come out and check us out for those races. And that is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to what we have in store for you guys this year, or this season rather, on Speed Racing Network. But Pace Truck lights are still on here. You saw a lot of our guys come down, and just about pretty much everybody come down and top off on fuel and possibly get 4 fresh tires, because as you don't typically see that under green flag conditions, you have the time to do so here under yellow. That is something that you can set yourself up for failure with if you do take tires under green flag conditions, because you might see yourself losing the rest of the pack, and that is not what you want to do at super speedway racing. You want to stay in that draft. But Nathan Nixon losing a couple spots as he was the guy out in front, but now that guy is going to be Lucas Lyons. So he is now taking over the race lead here, and just to his, well, it's going to be to his outside was going to be Austin Reedy. He's going to be in second. Nathan Nixon in third. Kyle Spees in fourth. Bobby Anderson's going to round out our top 5. Michael Madden now up 9 positions, sits in 6th place. Troy Techmeyer back to 7th. Our pole sitter, already losing 6 positions on the track, finds himself running in 7th. And then Bo Tiffany up 2 spots. He is in 8th place. And our hard charger so far, Josh Siegfried in that number 66 YouTube Chevrolet, up 27 spots, up to 9th place already. And then rounding out the top 10 is going to be that truck that we saw involved in this first caution. That's going to be Ryan Steenbacher. So that is our top 10 as they currently sit. Pace Truck lights are off, and once they get through the back stretch here, we're going to be back to some green flag racing down here in Alabama. So just a very cloudy and dreary day, as it has been across most of the country. A lot of people seeing snow and all sorts of weather out there, and kind of seeing the same thing, but nonetheless clear conditions, even though those clouds are blocking the sun. We might see it poke through here and there. It is making for a nice and cool track, possibly going to help the handling a little bit on these trucks, but rounding turns 3 and 4. We're about to crank this thing back up, and we're going to probably take a in-cockpit view here on board with Lucas Lyons once we get this thing going here. See, the pace truck is starting to make his way off the track. We're going to get this thing cranked back up and hope that this is the only caution of the night, so all these guys have a great shot at possibly walking away with some good cash in their pockets. But let's go ahead and get on into the cockpit for Lucas Lyons here. And there you see it, already up to 100 miles an hour as we start to go through the gears. Love hearing these trucks start to wind up as they just pick up speed for this whole lap. That's about how long it takes for these guys to get up to full speed, but you're going to see a lot of pushing here from these trucks behind them. And you see in that mirror, that's the Austin Reedy machine, the 111 truck, starting to gain a lot of steam, a lot of momentum with the 224 of Michael Madden, giving them a big push up to the front of this pack. That's the guy to do it, the one that has won the last 2 weeks. Michael Madden putting himself in position again where he finds himself the safest out on track, and that is up front. Still a little bit of work to do as these guys are tough up here, but he's going to have to make some moves and try and get in front of that 111 butt kicker machine. It's going to be hard to do so, even though he's got a little bit of damage on that rear spoiler. Let's take a look at the the rear camera of Lucas Lyons, and there you can see the engine of Nathan Nixon. That's just how close these guys are pushing. Camera goes straight into Nathan Nixon's truck here. A little bit of a glitch on iRacing's part, but yeah, that's the up-close personal look of what's under the hood of that 88 machine, so hoping that he's okay with that, but doing a great job pushing our leader, Lucas Lyons. And Kyle Spees, I always like to brag about Kyle Spees, my former crew chief and spotter. He loves some super speedway racing, so that is another guy I would try to be linking up with. So these top three in this front or this bottom line sitting pretty with these guys well experienced when it comes to super speedway racing. But nothing changing up front. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Blimp Cam just to see how spread out this field is. As they head down to turn 3, there's a little burst of sun on the track. That's what I figured we might see here throughout the day, and then quickly back into the shaded area of the track. So hopefully they got their tinted visors on out there, not getting blinded by the sunlight. But this just shows you how big the pack is. This isn't what we saw last week at Daytona. Got a little bit spread out, and that kind of put some people behind the 8 ball that were not expecting it to go the distance under the green flag conditions. And ultimately, they paid the price for it, as about only 7-8 trucks finished on the lead lap. And as we say that, Nathan Nixon taking a look to the outside is going to work with his teammate Michael Madden now on that very high lane up top. We've got 3 wide racing for about 4 or 5 rows back. These guys fighting for position to get up to the front of this race. Barreling down into turn 3. Lucas Lyons still well out in front of these guys, but they are trying to get in position to get up front. That high line consisting of Nathan Nixon, Michael Madden, and I believe that's Josh Siegfried, as well as Bo Tiffany. So all these guys very familiar with one another. Got to be careful there. Mike Mosby starting to fall back to them. They're going to decide whether they want to work with him or not, and I think that they are realizing that that high lane is not working. They just lost a significant amount of track position there. Nathan Nixon was running second, and now finds himself running in 13th. So going to have to just really work together with his teammates that he has out there on the track. See if they can work their way back up front, because I'm sure that this is not where they want to be at the moment. Right in the middle of all of this chaos unfolding right before our eyes. And there you see it, the 11 truck taking a turn, and Michael Madden involved in this one, just as I said that. So big time damage there for Michael Madden. Trying to see who the 11 truck is. I'm not seeing one on my scoring, so I'm going to have to figure out exactly who that is. But let's go ahead, try to pull this up for you. What exactly happened here? We saw it as they were heading down into turn 3. The 11 truck just not clear of Nathan Nixon. Trying to still figure out exactly who that is. Let's see if we can go on board with Nathan Nixon. See if I can find Nathan Nixon. There he is. Let's go ahead, rewind that back and see exactly what happened here. Okay, so that was Kyle Ryan in the 11 truck. Just wasn't clear and came down in front of Nathan Nixon there. We're going to take another look at it here. Just thought he could get down in front of the 88 before he got there, and that just was not the case. And Nathan Nixon sends him around. So yeah, that's Kyle Ryan, scored as the 31, but has the 11 on the truck. I always love that. Makes it really easy for me when these guys have matching numbers out there. But there again, another look here at Kyle Ryan taking a turn, and then Michael Madden nowhere to go, and Bo Tiffany also getting caught up into that with some big damage. Josh Siegfried as well, and I believe the 24, I believe that might have been Brandon Browning. Yep, Brandon Browning. He has had some bad luck here in these Rat Pack Racing Cash Dash races. So a lot of fast repairs about to be used up here for these guys to get back out there on the track and able to keep up with this pack. You know, you can't really do much with damaged trucks. So you're going to have to burn that fast repair early. And, you know, for being the back-to-back winner, the last two races, Michael Madden going to have his work cut out to see if he can come away with this one tonight. But while we have some downtime, let's go ahead and take another commercial break.
Want to be a part of an established league on iRacing? A league that's competitive, fun, and above all fair? Look no further than Speed Racing Network. Originally known as Mid-South Madness, SRN has evolved into a league that can bring the best out in any given driver. Drivers work their way up through the ranks to hopefully one day call themselves a champion of Speed Racing Network. If you're interested in joining, don't hesitate to reach out to league admins to claim your spot today. Maybe you'll end up in the history books. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor in Speed Racing Network, feel free to head over to www.speedracingnetwork.com and reach out to an admin today. And as always, remember to go faster.
Well, thanks as always to Speed Racing Network for putting on some amazing races here for all of you to enjoy. It's going to be quite the busy month in the sports world. As we know, the opening ceremonies for the Olympics just taking place today in Beijing, China. Who doesn't love the Olympics? Not to mention, we have the Busch Light Clash at the LA Coliseum out in California happening this weekend, folks. Racing is going to be back on our big screens, and who cannot be more excited than us race fans? It's going to be an absolutely awesome race to check out. I know it's gotten a lot of scrutiny, but personally, I am very, very excited for it. It's going to be super cool to see a quarter-mile racetrack inside the LA Coliseum where they play the Rose Bowl game once a year. And what more can you ask for? It's going to be epic seating for all the people out there to go check out a race. And how often do we get to see a NASCAR-sanctioned race with heat racing? It's going to be a blast. I can't wait to see how it works out. And from what it sounds like, it's going to stick around for the next couple of years. So hopefully everybody enjoys that show. And I'm excited to see my favorite driver, Kyle Larson, start his defense of his first ever championship. But before we get to all of that, and not to mention the Super Bowl also next week between the LA Rams and the Cincinnati Bengals, we have something to settle here tonight on Speed Racing Network. Who is going to come away with the win for the Rat Pack Racing Cash Dash race number 4 here at Talladega Super Speedway? Right now, Lucas Lyons sitting pretty, and he has been up front most of the race, up 5 positions from where he started. Austin Reedy just to his outside in second. Kyle Speed is going to restart in third. Bobby Anderson, he's going to restart in fourth. Troy Techmeyer going to restart in fifth. Ryan Steenbacher's up 18 spots. He's going to start sixth. Craig Lautenschlager up 7. He's going to start in 7th. Tristan Bailey in 8th place after he was running up front last week. And Joseph Sizik up 21 positions in 9th and going to round out our top 10 with this awesome mellow yellow scheme driven by John Osborne. So let's go ahead and get this thing back going as the green flag is in the flag man's hand. And he's going to be waving here for Lucas Lyons to get going. And he is expecting a big push from Kyle Spees. And there you see it already on the bumper and getting that 7 going. Not much help for Austin Reedy right now as he's got a little bit of a space between him and Bobby Anderson. So they're going to have to work that out, and that's why we're seeing this 36 and 7 kind of pull out to a little lead. And if Kyle Spees wants to, he can hop to that outside lane and take control of that outside lane and possibly find himself in the lead. But right now, looking like he's going to sit pretty right here behind Lucas Lyons. Taking a look from our awesome Goodyear Blimp Cam as these guys barrel down into turn 3 and head out of turn 4. This field's starting to get a little bit more scattered out as we've already had 2 cautions here through lap 20 of this race. Going to cross the stripe this time by to take lap 21 on this field. And these guys I think are going to start trying to play it a little safer as it's not seeming like it's going to be the same type of race that we saw last week at Daytona. Wow, Bobby Anderson makes it really close there to get behind Troy Techmeyer. That's going to leave Austin Reedy even more out to dry. He's going to fall back to Ryan Steenbacher's there. And he's going to lose a little more track position now, falling back to 5th. So Lucas Lyons still out in front. But noticing here on my scoring, a lot of guys pitted during that last round of cautions. Lucas Lyons and Kyle Spees not among those drivers, as well as Bobby Anderson and Aaron Brinkelson, showing that those guys did not pit. So not entirely sure how accurate that is, but man, if that is the case and this thing stays green, that is going to shake things up as far as their race goes. But as I said, Austin Reedy falling back to Ryan Steenbacher as these guys are moving on up. Whoa! Austin Reedy comes down in front of Lucas Lyons and gets the boot. And no other trucks involved. I just saw someone else back there, but no caution. See if I can bring that up again. Showing Chris Bishop also. See what happened from his perspective here. Sees what's happening in front of him. Oh, and then I believe that's Mike Mosby kind of came down and clipped his nose. So Chris Bishop having a tough race so far in that 14 truck. already involved in an incident earlier and finds himself with some significant damage once again. But as I say that, we go back out to the front. Lucas Lyons still leading the way. Now Ryan Steenbacher's leading the charge on that outside lane, followed by Tristan Bailey pushing hard. And just behind him, Craig Lautenslager. So a whole different look to that outside lane leading the way out there. But nothing doing for this inside lane. These guys really working well together. Lucas Lyons and Kyle Spees getting it done as we come to the 1/3 part of this race. Well, next time by we'll cross that threshold, but nonetheless, we are coming to lap 24 out of 75 here at Talladega as Ryan Steenbacher gets a big push from Tristan Bailey. I think he might be able to clear Lucas Lyons if he opts to get away from his pushing partner, and that's always the dilemma that runs through these drivers' heads. You know, this guy got you up to the front. Do you want to bail on him just to control that inside lane where you might not have the same type of commitment from these guys, such as Lucas Lyons and Kyle Spees, and Steenbacher's opting to stay with his pushing partner and Tristan Bailey. So we'll see if these guys can get it done. But right now, falling back just a hair as Kyle Spees is trying to clear that 799 machine. But there you see that 36 pushing that 7 real hard as we come back to the stripe to take lap 25 here tonight. Seeing Rob Yost Jr. might have gone off track. Let's see if we can see exactly what happened here. That 98 Emery Motorsports or Emery Transmissions truck. Oh yeah, gets a little help from Bo Tiffany, and not sure who that orange truck is, but he took a trip through the grass and now going to find himself without the draft and a little bit of damage too. So back up front, still leading the way, going to be Lucas Lyons and Kyle Spees. Nothing really changing up front. Let's see if we can get a little blimp shot of what's going on towards the back here. This lead pack about consistent of almost 18 trucks, and then you're going to have to go way back to find the next pack that's led by Michael Madden, Tyler Murray, Tommy Haynes, and a whole bunch of other drivers, and they are going to be way back and losing time at the same time. So they are likely going with the strategy of maybe hoping to see a few more cautions, because a lot of these trucks are those trucks that we saw involved in those first 2 cautions. So we'll keep an eye on these guys, see how they're holding up, and see if they're losing time at the same time. So let's go back out front. And as I say that, things starting to heat up, and Ryan Steenbacher is getting a big push from Tristan Bailey, and looks like a few drivers trying to get a little of a outside lane going here. That's Josh Siegfried, one of the guys that we've also seen in trouble. He gets a little tap from the 03 of Casey Latimer,
Yellow.
And the caution is out. Unfortunately for Josh Siegfried, that is going to put a damper on his night, because I believe he has already burned that fast repair with the incident that he was caught up in earlier. Let's go ahead and see if we can see another angle of what just took place on the track. The Letterkenny truck driven by Casey Latimer just barely touches the 66 and sends him hard into the outside wall. Let's see if I can get another angle for you guys. Yeah, the 03 kind of just comes up a little bit and catches that bumper, that left rear quarter panel of the 66. That's all it takes to get a truck loose and just flying through the rest of the field here. Let's see if we can get a perspective from Casey Latimer to see exactly what he saw during that last caution. Let's go on board here. yeah, it just gets a little bit too close to 66 and everything else. I mean, he caught a few trucks up in that one, but a lot of these guys doing a great job to avoid that and save their trucks here tonight. So just as I said that, with that pack losing time in the back, it's exactly what Michael Madden and the rest of those guys were expecting to happen, hence why they were so far off the pace. And now they find themselves sitting pretty. It looks like the 007 of Nash Brambilla was another one of those trucks involved, and he's got some damage on that Toyota Tundra that he's going to need to come and get fixed as well. But you see just behind him, Rob Yost, he caught a little bit of a lucky break there, as he was that truck that we took a look at a few laps before. He was going through the infield and lost all of the draft. Really could have ruined his night. So a lot of these guys coming away with a little bit of a lucky break here. We'll see if Rob Yost opts to use a fast repair. I think he's just going to get the damage fixed the old way. But you see Josh Siegfried, he's not able to get that thing fixed with the fast repairs. We see Nash Brambilla, he did use his fast repair. But man, that 66 is going to be hard pressed to really put the horsepower down on the track with that amount of damage. So the guys behind the wall are going to be working real hard to get that 66 Chevy Silverado running like it should be here at Talladega Super Speedway. Nothing changing up front, though. Lucas Lyons still leading the way. But now Tristan Bailey finds himself just behind him. Kyle Spees in third. Ryan Steenbacher's going to come out in fourth, picks up 20 spots from where he started. This race has found himself in the midst of some trouble out there in the track, but still having a great performance so far tonight. Troy Techmeyer, our pole sitter, still sitting in the top 5 in that Nebraska Cornhuskers Chevy Silverado. Craig Lautenslager, he is going to be in 6th place. Bobby Anderson out there in the pace truck, number 18 Chevy Silverado. He finds himself in 7th place. Daniel Keith Jr., that really pretty Chevy Silverado, number 15 for Highline Racing. He finds himself in 8th. William Voigt, a newcomer here to the Rat Pack Racing Cash Dash, is going to find himself up 24 positions from where he started, finds himself in 9th place. And then Danny Dow, up 24 positions from where he started, up to 10th place. Let's go ahead and give a quick run through of our top 22. Aaron Roth in 11th place. There's Michael Madden, our back-to-back winner here at the Rat Pack Racing Cash Dash. He sits in 12th. Doc Holliday in that awesome number 9 Barrett Race Cars Chevy Silverado in 13th. Tyler Murray, who's found himself in a little bit of trouble here tonight, still doing a great job, up 11 spots from where he started. He finds himself in 14th. Aaron Brinkelson in that 45 machine, he's in 15th. John T. Wimbush going to be in 16th. Tommy Haynes, he's in 17th with Joseph Sizik, just to his outside, in 18th. And then Andrew Santo going to be in 19th place. And Brandon Richardson in that awesome Miller Genuine Draft Toyota Tundra is going to round out that top 20 for us. So things changing up quite a bit here as we're on lap 30 of this race. But nothing changing up front. Lucas Lyons still finds himself as the man on the point of this race. Sits in first. So there you see it, pace truck lights are off. And big benefit to, I believe, Lucas Lyons, his position in this race, and that's that's the fact that the Kyle Speed's number 36 machine is still right behind him. These two have been working together this whole race. And, I mean, we've said it week in and week out here at Super Speedway races, you got to make some friends out there on the track. I know that's not the goal when you get to the racetrack, but when it comes to Super Speedway racing, you need to make some friends. And I think that's what we're seeing here between the 7 and the 36. But the 003 and the 799 truck have also been working really, really well together. But as we go through this dog leg here at Talladega, we're going to see that green flag come back out after this third caution of the race. And we are back underway on lap 31. Let's go ahead and crank it up a bit. What do you say? A little bit of a mini crank it up moment here on Speed Racing Network, and we have a yellow on the track. I see Nathan Nixon falling through the field as well as Craig Lautenschlager. See if we can find out exactly what happened here for this fourth caution of the race. We're going to follow here Craig Lautenschlager. He was running 6th place. Ooh, gets a big push through the turn. Daniel Keith just sends him up into the wall. And man, nowhere for Nathan Nixon to go. I'm not sure. Might have been Brandon Key that just had nowhere to go. Let's see, follow him. The cockpit view on board this A truck. It's going to see him just spinning up out. And just doesn't know where he's going to end up. Does a great job to get through there. So that was not the truck I was expecting to see. Somebody took a big hit, though. So we can get another look here from Nathan Nixon. So this is Nathan Nixon here, a little bit further back in the pack. Another one of those drivers who's already used up that faster pair. Just slides up right in front of him and nowhere for that 88 to go. So I think he might be done for the night. Let's see if we can take one more look at this, maybe from a blimp cam. Keyed in on Craig Lautenschlager here. The initial spin. You see Daniel Keith just right on his bumper through the turn, which is what you want to try and avoid. Yeah, just these trucks had nowhere to go. Nathan Nixon, and I'm not quite sure who that other truck was. Seeing if I can figure it out on my list of events here. Let's take a look at that, though, from Daniel Keith. Oh, so he also got a little bit of a turn there from Danny Dow after getting out of the gas. Daniel Keith getting some big damage from that after pushing Lautenschlager through the turns. He also gets a little bit of it as well. So tough break there for the 15 machine. Back live out on the track here, and you just see how damaged some of these trucks are. And something that we often do lose sight of here as well, here at the Rat Pack Racing Cash Dash, it's a very, very strict incident limit. 13 points comes up very, very quickly for these guys. So if you have found yourself in 2 incidents already, you're sitting at 8 points. And if you go off track, that's a point each time. If you hit the wall, that's a point each time. These guys could be staring down the possibility of being disqualified here if they get into another incident before this thing is over. So they're going to have to really choose wisely what they want to do here throughout the rest of this race to get themselves to the end. Because we still have 40 trucks out there on the track. We've seen a lot of carnage, but nobody opting to quit yet. So still going to have some work to do if you want to get into the top 10 of this thing and come away with some cash, or possibly the 11th through 25th random pick as well. So going to have to choose your spots wisely and make your moves accordingly when you get back out there with these damaged trucks. So another thing, too, to consider is these guys using up those faster pairs. Got to be careful with that as well. You find yourself in some significant trouble like Nathan Nixon has found himself in, as well as Aaron Bringleson, Josh Siegfried. All these guys have already burned their faster pair and have some seriously damaged trucks out there here at Talladega Superspeedway. But back up front, it's the newcomer, William Voigt, out in front in the 69 Toyota Tundra. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and by the time we come back, we will be going green.
Want to be a part of an established league on iRacing? A league that's competitive, fun, and above all fair? Look no further than Speed Racing Network. Originally known as Mid-South Madness, SRN has evolved into a league that can bring the best out in any given driver. Drivers work their way up through the ranks to hopefully one day call themselves a champion of Speed Racing Network. If you're interested in joining, don't hesitate to reach out to league admins to claim your spot today. Maybe you'll end up in the history books. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor in Speed Racing Network, feel free to head over to www.speedracingnetwork.com and reach out to an admin today. And as always, remember to go faster.
Well, there you see it. If you're interested at all in anything Speed Racing Network, head over to speedracingnetwork.com. We got all sorts of stuff for you. We got 3 series here for Season 3. We got the Trucks, the Xfinity Series, and the Next Gen Cup Series. And I believe there are maybe 5 spots at most left for the Next Gen Cup cars. Everything else is pretty booked. But we run through a Tuesday through Thursday schedule starting in March. And you're not going to miss your opportunity to claim that spot here in SRN, because it is one of the best leagues out there. Some serious money on the line for the champions as well as each week's winner. So do take this time to head over to speedracingnetwork.com and get your spot today. And at the same time, do us a favor. If you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and give this video a like, and please subscribe. It means the world to us. We do this for you, so we appreciate you guys stopping by. But let's go ahead. Now you see the pace truck is off the track. The field is in William Voigt's hands. He's up 32 positions to this point. And you know what? Quite frankly, can't climb anymore. Just to his outside, Joseph Sizik up 28 spots. So these guys really climbing up there. They opted to not come down pit road this time. The only trucks opting to do that, as the rest of the field came down to top off on fuel. Lucas Lyons gets really close to the 009 there. Got to be careful, because a wreck up front could cause chaos throughout the rest of the field. Look how tight this top 5, this top 7 is, as everybody else kind of scattered throughout the field. They've seen what's happened. These guys up front do not care the least bit, as Lucas Lyons really pushing Voigt. We just saw that happen with Daniel Keith and Craig Lautenschlager up front. It's got to be careful not to turn. And there goes the 69 and the 7. So William Voigt going for a ride. unfortunate for our leader at the time, getting turned by Lucas Lyons. So back up front now. New leader going to be Tristan Bailey, as that kind of scattered things out a little bit. Pushed by Tyler Murray in that beautiful number 16 Kevin Harvick throwback truck. So that's a really cool truck to see out there. But a new man leading that outside charge is going to be Kyle Spees in the 36 machine, pushed by none other than the pace truck driven by Bobby Anderson. So two drivers familiar with one another in SRN getting to work here up front, followed by Sizik and Danny Dow there on the outside lane. So we still see the smoke from that last incident there on the exit of 4. Crossing the stripe this time to cross halfway in this race. So all sorts of chaos and carnage in this race at Talladega, unlike what we saw last week at Daytona in the Xfinity cars. These guys getting a little bit more racy here tonight. I've said it before, and I really do believe that this track just promotes more wild racing, as I would call it, just for the fact that, oh, and the 009 gets turned into 799 of Steenbacher. And we have a yellow out on the track. Let's go ahead and take a look at what just happened out here. You see the 009 get turned by, I believe, Danny Dow. He's going to clip him there. And that's going to send the 799 up into the 18, and everything else that follows. You see the 3 truck there also getting involved on this one. Take a look here from the Blimp Cam. Just see how many trucks were involved in this one. These were all front runners too. Let's see if we can take another look at that one here. Nowhere for any of these guys to go. Bobby Anderson didn't even see it coming. I think Michael Madden might have been involved in this as well. He's just behind, and he's already used that faster parry tonight. Our back-to-back winner. Oh, yeah, some big-time damage there in that 224 truck. So the luck might be running out for Michael Madden here at Talladega Superspeedway. See if any of these guys are able to get these trucks fixed and in good enough condition to be competitive. You see Steenbacher's uses his fast repair, so he's going to be in pretty good shape, but curious to see just how well they're able to get a lot of these other trucks fixed up. You see the 30, he was just almost involved in that. That truck is clean as could be. Danny Dow with a little bit of damage as well. Let's see if we can see the progress being made on Michael Madden. That truck is torn up. Like we said, this is the 2-time winner here in the Rat Pack Cash Dash, and also the 2-time winner of the Sparkle and Shine Dirty Rat race, which is almost a demolition derby type of event that gets you a free entry into these races. So he has seen a lot of winning coming his way in this 224 machine. But man, he's going to have his work cut out for him. That truck is beat up. But hey, you stick around long enough, you might find yourself sitting in the top 10 by the end of this thing. So we'll keep an eye on his progress here tonight. But out in front is going to be the 003 truck of Tristan Bailey. Let's take another look here. And what we can see coming up here on Speed Racing Network, like we keep saying, everything you need is over at speedracingnetwork.com. If you're interested in sponsoring this series, you can head over there and talk to an admin today if you want to. But this is the upcoming schedule that we're going to be seeing here broadcasted live on the Speed Racing Network. We got Daytona Duels, February 22nd to the 24th. Daytona, the points race will be held March 1st to the 3rd. Going to take a week break for the iRacing build to come out. And then March 15th to the 17th, we're going to be out in the desert in Phoenix, Arizona. Coming back to the East Coast just after that, we're going to be in Atlanta, Georgia. Well, Hampton, Georgia, for the Atlanta Motor Speedway race March 22nd to the 24th. And then we're heading out to Austin, Texas for the Circuit of the Americas. Catch that March 29th to the 31st. So going to be a busy 5 weeks of action once we get this thing started here on Speed Racing Network. But like we keep saying, we've got business to tend to here for the Rat Pack Racing Cash Dash before we get to that. So already to lap 41. We've had 5 cautions on the night. We've got 32 trucks on the lead lap still. Shaping up to be a great finish here down in Alabama. Let's go ahead and give you a quick run through of that top 10 as they sit. I believe, the pace truck lights are back on. They're going to get this field sorted out. And we're going to be back to some green flag action before we know it. But before then, let's go ahead and give you that rundown. Tristan Bailey up 6 spots. Finds himself out in front. Tyler Murray, he is up 23 spots in that awesome Kevin Harvick throwback. He's in second place. Ryan Steenbacher, who we just saw get caught up in that last incident, uses the fast repair to keep himself out in the front of this pack, runs third, up 21 spots. Travis Anderson, he is up 31 positions, running in fourth place. Next up is going to be Kyle Wimble in the 11 truck, one of those guys that we saw affected early on by one of these cautions. He's now in the top 5, up 24 spots. And then John Doc Holliday, and what is probably one of my favorite paint schemes out there on the track, finds himself in 6th place. Chris Bishop up 11 spots. He's found himself in all sorts of trouble. Probably one of the drivers to keep an eye on when it comes to incident points. Going to have to be really careful. He finds himself in 7th place. And Robert Anderson in that really cool number 47 Chevy Silverado. He finds himself up 11 spots, running in 8th place. Tommy Haynes, a name that we are familiar with seeing here on Speed Racing Network, running in these Rat Pack Racing Cash Dash races, finds himself up 18 spots, running in 9th in that Toyota Tundra, sponsored by the American Diabetes Association. And rounding out that top 10, I believe, is going to be Justin Botelho, up 27 spots after starting in row 19 tonight. Finds himself in the top 10. So going to have to keep working to get that Toyota Tundra out in front, but so far doing a great job of surviving all the chaos that we have seen out there tonight. So pace truck lights are off for this 5th caution of the night. Field getting gridded back up. Tristan Bailey going to get this thing going here in that Red Bull Chevy Silverado. So hoping that we can get this thing run to the end. Once they cross the stripe, we'll have 33 laps to go. If we do stay green, we could be seeing a green flag pit stop for these drivers as we see the sun start to poke its head out a little bit beyond the clouds start to heat this track up a little bit. But yeah, I want to see some green flag pit stops here, because that really separates the best from the rest when it comes to iRacing, as well as any racing as far as I'm concerned. You can really get on pit road and get off pit road super fast. That's going to set you up for success here. But we got to keep this thing green first. About the longest green run we've seen so far, only 10 laps here at Talladega Superspeedway. I just think that this wide track really promotes more of a hectic style of racing. It gives you a little more confidence if you want to open up that third lane. And I think that's what we've been seeing here so far tonight. But you heard it there, the green flag back out here down at Talladega Super Speedway. A little bit of a scattered start here up front. Tyler Murray not having any help with the 48 of Travis Anderson behind him. He's going to have to suck in behind Ryan Steenbacher's. The 48 is probably going to opt to get in behind Kyle Wimble here. But yeah, the top 7 all single file. And then, well, just as I say that, Tommy Haynes opts to go to the outside lane and get that little bit of help here from John Doc Holliday. So we'll see if we can get some steam rolling, and they are moving on the outside. Take a look from the 17's nose here, and you just see the speed difference that we're seeing, and he is all the way up to the front of this thing just after the course of one lap. That just goes to show what this draft can do and how pivotal it is to make some friends. And he's going to go ahead and opt to break away from the 9 of Doc Holliday and go down to the inside lane, giving Doc the opportunity to take control of that outside lane, possibly find himself out in front of this thing. It's getting a really, really good push from Justin Patello. Oh, and he comes down in front of Tommy Haynes. That's going to bring out the caution again for the 6th caution of the night. Let's go ahead and take another look at this. Just was not clear. Oh, so close. This is where just having a spotter can be huge for these guys. Let's go ahead and take another look at this one again. Yeah, just was never clear of that 17, and unfortunately for Tommy Haynes, he's going to have some significant damage now to get repaired. Let's go ahead and take a look. Tyler Murray's perspective, sees it happening, gets out of the gas, sees these guys coming back up front in front of him, and does an incredible job to avoid that. Gets on the brakes really hard, and a great job by these guys behind him as well to not drive through the 16. So great wreck avoidance by a lot of these guys on this 6th caution of the night. See our leader opting to come down pit road, top off on some fuel. And there you see he didn't get any tires. So opting to shave some time off his pit stop and just go for the fuel here and possibly come back off pit road with the lead. He had just claimed the lead after the 2 guys out in front wrecked. So kudos to him for being in the right spot at the right time. But I believe he is going to come back out in 4th place with a few of these guys opting to stay out. I believe Troy Techmeyer did not come down pit road. Could be mistaken there. Man, that is some significant damage on the back of that number 32 Nebraska Huskers Chevy Silverado. So it's going to make it a little difficult for these guys to push him. So we'll see how long he's able to stay out in front, but yeah, he's got some work cut out for him. See Tristan Bailey back here in second place as well. Kyle Speedy's going to come out in third. Botello going to come out in fourth place. Brandon Richardson with some big time damage on the front of that number 29 Toyota Tundra. He is going to be in fifth. Both ends of that truck really beat up. So yeah, still seeing a lot of carnage out here on the track. Brandon Key running in sixth place. That number 8 Chevrolet Accessories Silverado. Kyle Wimble. Man, the theme of the night is just beat up trucks. Look at the front end of that thing. And he's running in seventh place, up 22 positions from where he started tonight. Tyler Murray, the escape artist on the last caution, finds himself running in eighth place. Steenbacher, who has just about been around every caution tonight, still finds himself with a very clean looking Blizzard machine. Making me hungry in that Ford F-150. Then John T. Wimbish, last week's pole sitter, is going to find himself rounding out our top 10. Let's go ahead and give you another quick run through of the rest of our top 20. Chris Bishop in that 14 machine finds himself in 11th. Daniel Keith going to be in 12th place. Cody Madden next up. He's going to be running in 13th. Sizik finds himself in 14th place. Aaron Roth in 15th. Robert Anderson in 16th. Tommy Haynes in the 17 truck running in 17th. And there he is, Michael Madden, with a beat-up truck still in this thing, running in 18th. John Holliday going to be in 19th, and Nathan Nixon is going to round out the top 20 of this thing. So all kinds of movement in our field, but still, we are going to have 27 laps to sort this thing out once we get back under green flag conditions. Luckily, that was a quick caution, a quick cleanup from our safety crew out here tonight, so we can get this thing back going and see if we can finish this off with a long green flag run. It's been some incredible racing so far. A lot of 3-wide racing here, but a lot of trucks getting torn up too. Some moves that shouldn't be made here, but still being made, and sending some drivers home early, putting those trucks on the hauler and heading back home. But we're going to see what this 32 truck has. He was our pole sitter tonight. Finds himself back out in front. The front end of that truck not looking too bad. A little bit of crinkles on it. But that rear end is really torn up. That spoiler is all sorts of bent. That's going to be tough to really utilize the draft to the max of its capability. So I expect to see this outside lane get a really good charge here with Bailey, Botello, and Key, as well as Tyler Murray and Wimbish all up there, all really fast trucks and trucks that we've seen running up towards the front tonight. Green. Kyle Spees is going to be surrounded by some trucks that are a little bit damaged, so we'll see how long the 36 opts to stay with these guys. See, Tristan Bailey gets a really good jump on Techmeyer. Techmeyer hanging in there. See, one of the trucks back there blinking a little bit. I believe that's, that was Anderson. Nope, that's Wimbish, blinking for quite a while and coming back on the track. Now finds himself in the middle. Okay, he's going to get back in front of Bishop. Botello making a move to the inside of Tristan Bailey. Bailey opting to stay on the outside as Botello now takes over the lead. And just as I say that, things getting a little bit scattered now. Kyle Speed's falling a little bit back from Troy Techmeyer. That's only going to help this outside lane really put together a good, strong run. Now Brandon Key opting to drop down in front of Botello, so he leads the charge on the inside lane. Tristan Bailey, though, out in front on the outside, being pushed by Tyler Murray and Steenbacher's. Now Kyle Spees making his way up to the top lane. So we'll see if Brandon Key can really stay in control of this race, or if we're going to see some more lead changes before this thing is done. And I just think that is going to be what we see here tonight. Coming out of turn 4 this time, heading towards the stripe to take lap 50. Coming to the 2/3 mark of this race, and that is going to be led by the 8 truck of Brandon Key, pushed by Justin Botello, who, like I said, is up 35 spots from where he started. So, man, he has come all the way from the back to the front to try and come away with the money here tonight, as a lot of our favorites have found themselves in trouble. Taking a good look from our Blimp Cam can really give us some perspective on what we're seeing out there. And it's just 2 by 2 for about 10 rows back. So our top 20 all just battling side by side. And then you see, I believe that's Nash Brambilla back here. He's going to start the train of trucks just opting to get out of this and avoid any chaos. You see about a 7, I believe that's an 8-car pack back here that's getting a little bit of a way away from that lead pack, and probably not a bad idea after what we've seen so far here tonight. But there you see it. Down to 25 laps to go out in Talladega, Alabama. So Botello gets back in front of Brandon Key, goes to the lead on this inside lane, and really pulling that inside lane quite well, as the 8 of Brandon Key was almost able to clear Tristan Bailey there for a second, but Tristan going to hang tough there on the outside, being pushed by Murray and Steenbacher, followed by Spees and Wimble. Got a lap truck here they're going to have to work by. That's that is John Osborne and the 81 Mellow Yellow machine there. So everybody getting by him cleanly. He stayed up high for everybody to get on by, because he has a very damaged truck out there. So very much down on horsepower. These guys up front really flexing some muscle, and the most muscle being flexed by newcomer Justin Botello. And what is showing on his truck, the 20 truck, but being scored as the 010. Like I said, as a broadcaster, I love that. So we're going to have to work on getting that fixed for future races. But nonetheless, he finds himself out in front, crossing the stripe to take 23 laps to go. Fingers crossed we're going to end this thing under green all the way to the end, because this will really shake things up. I am not entirely sure that they could make it on fuel if that's the case. So could be a really big storyline unfolding. Oh, and Brandon Key just clears Tristan Bailey. I think Tristan Bailey cut him a little bit of slack there, as he just kind of made his way up to the top and now finds himself out in front and leading the charge on this bottom lane. Wow, that high line is really getting some good momentum now. Tyler Murray and Tristan Bailey both able to clear, and Brandon Key turns Tyler Murray, sends him through the infield, almost turns Justin Botello. Take another look at that. Looked like Murray had him cleared and just didn't commit to it. Kind of came up a little bit, and Brandon Key stuck his nose in there and kind of sent the 16 sailing through the infield there. So tough break for Tyler Murray here tonight. He's been running up front all night long and now finds himself well off the pace here behind these guys. Steenbacher's getting really close to Kyle Spees there. Whew, these guys are making me nervous up front. Coming to the stripe to take 21 laps to go. Things are heating up down here in Talladega Super Speedway. So Steenbachers and Bailey opt to take the inside lane after I feel like they were on the outside lane this whole entire race. Now in control of that inside lane, and Botello gonna opt to go to the outside and work with Kyle Spees and gets a really good push up to the front now. 36, one of the best pushers out there on the track, followed by Kyle Wimble, and Daniel Keith Jr. there on this outside lane. So these guys are getting at it here, come to the stripe to take 20 laps to go. You would think this was a short track race with all the beat up sheet metal we see on these trucks here tonight. So Botello now in control out in front of Tristan Bailey. It's going to leave the outside lane to Kyle Spees, see if he can work his way up to the front of this thing. Going to need a little more help from the guys behind him to get that momentum going, as that inside lane is just really tight and working well together. Botello gets kind of loose there. That's going to slow up the momentum of this inside lane just a hair, but still doing a great job of staying out there. You see Tristan Bailey all over the bumper of that 20 Toyota Tundra. It's going to stay working with him, as the outside lane really not getting anything going just yet, but I have no doubt that Tristan Bailey is keeping an eye on that for the right time to possibly pop out in front of Kyle Spees and maybe get a good push back to the point of this race. Once again, I appreciate everybody stopping by and tuning in for tonight's Rat Pack Racing Cash Dash number 4 here in the Truck Series at Talladega Super Speedway. We've had a ton of fun here in the last 3 races, and man, we are getting it going here on Speed Racing Network and kind of working out all the gremlins. So I appreciate each and every one of you for stopping by, and take a look at that. We got pit stops happening here under green flag conditions. So Bobby Anderson, John Doc Holliday, as well as Techmeyer, all opting to come down pit road to possibly get them to the end of this thing with enough fuel to do so. So a risky play, but it could be the play that wins them the race. If you go pit under green flag conditions here at Talladega, you will not lose a lap if you have some drafting partners. So everybody is going to have to pit to get them to the end. But just say they get a lucky caution. We've seen 6 so far here tonight. They get themselves a lucky caution. They don't have to come back down pit road and then find themselves with that track position out in front of this thing. So we'll have to keep an eye on that development here and see if it works out for them. But they're going to have to stay on the lead lap for that to work out. So we'll see how long these guys out in front opt to stay out. Nobody opting to come down pit road that time. Things really single filing out here up front. Got our top 8 all in a single file line. First one on the outside lane there is going to be Daniel Keith Jr. Starting to see Michael Madden making a move back here. For everything that truck has been caught up in, it does not look that bad, all being considered there for that 224 truck. But getting a good pull from Daniel Keith there. Keith needs a lot of help if they're going to make that outside lane work. But, man, it is really single filed out now. Quite surprising. I wonder if that's just everybody kind of setting themselves up for what is going to be coming here in the next couple of laps. Could see some more pit stops. Doc Holliday opting to come back down pit road, so not sure if he just has some damage or what, but quick pit stop, quick 5-second pit stop for him. So might just have enough damage on that truck to where it's affecting the water temperature in that thing, which could make your engine just expire on you without even knowing. So Doc, knowing what he needs to do to get to the end, is going to get that truck fixed up and repaired. Could we be seeing some trucks come down pit road this time? Does not look like it, but look at what we're seeing here. Everybody in a single file line. We haven't seen that the entirety of the night as we cross the stripe to take 15 laps to go here at Talladega. Look at that shot. There is no side-by-side racing anywhere on this racetrack. So I just really feel like everybody's setting themselves up to potentially come down pit road in the next couple of laps. They've got to be talking to one another saying, hey, this thing is all single file. There's not probably going to be a caution anytime soon. Tristan Bailey coming down, Patello coming down, all of our leaders coming down this time. Let me tell you, folks, that is not easy to pull off. All of these trucks getting onto pit road cleanly and coming down at pit speed is one of the hardest things to do on the iRacing sim, as well as real-life racing, I imagine. Wouldn't know from first-hand experience. But that is not an easy thing to do, to slow these trucks up from 180 to 185 miles an hour all the way down to 60 is a feat in itself. But all these guys doing just that. And there we see it. Steenbacher's, Wimble, Patello, Bailey all coming out together. There's Brandon Key just behind Bailey. We see Sizik back here, Wimbish, Kyle Spees, Austin Reedy. I'm seeing that Zach Bergeson possibly finds himself in some trouble now. Let's see if we can see exactly what happened. Might be an instance here where he just parks it and takes a tow to the parking or to the garage area, and that's exactly what we're going to see. So Steenbacher's in the lead of this lead pack after they pitted. But our leader is going to be Bo Tiffany, Mike Mosby, Robert Anderson, Jordan Sailors, Rob Yost. They're all on pit road right now, getting their final service of this race. So I got my wish. I got to see a green flag pit stop by these guys. We're going to see that lead pack go right on by. And these guys are going to lose a lot of time here. So Steenbacher's in charge on that inside lane. Brandon Key in charge on that outside lane, being pushed by Patello. So some really strong trucks up here. Bailey was running up front in the last Rat Pack Racing Cash Dash at Daytona. Finds himself in the same position again here tonight in that 003 Red Bull Chevy Silverado. He's being pushed by Joseph Sizik. So a lot of clean trucks up here in this pack, kind of separating themselves from the rest. Our top 10 finds themselves 3 seconds ahead from the next pack. That pack being led by Chris Bishop. So crossing the stripe to take 12 to go this time by. Going to go on by the lap truck of Casey Latimer there. This thing's shaping up to be an epic finish, as it usually is. The only exception being last week, where a lot of cars found themselves a lap down, and then the battle between the top three kind of just became a battle between one, and that was Michael Madden, who just survived everybody else, and he really didn't have a race to the end of that thing. It was a sure thing when he crossed the stripe to take the white flag. And I don't think we're going to be seeing the same thing here tonight, as these guys are really on top of one another for this top 10 pack here. Tommy Haynes making his way back into the picture in that 17 American Diabetes Association Toyota Tundra. Another one of these drivers we're used to seeing up front. John T. Wimbish, the third truck in line on that outside lane. also doing a great job after starting 17th here tonight. Now finds himself in the top 5. So Patello gonna possibly try and clear Brandon Key here, but he sees that lap truck and needs to use it accordingly. Doesn't want to get pinned by that, but could really pin that 8 truck if he wants to do that. So they're going to be catching him here coming through the front stretch. But Patello not clear. He doesn't really have a fender to that 8 truck as he's getting a really big push by Steenbacher's, and that's Tyler Murray. Going to move up out of the way to let these leaders go on by. Tough break again for that 16 truck who was running with these guys not too long ago, but was turned by the 8 of Brandon Key. So there you see it on the scoring tower. We are down to 10 laps to go. Shaping up to be an epic finish here. Before we get to the end of this thing, we're going to take one more quick commercial break here at Speed Racing Network.
Want to be a part of an established league on iRacing? A league that's competitive, fun, and above all fair? Look no further than Speed Racing Network. Originally known as Mid-South Madness, SRN has evolved into a league that can bring the best out in any given driver. Drivers work their way up through the ranks to hopefully one day call themselves a champion of Speed Racing Network. If you're interested in joining, don't hesitate to reach out to league admins to claim your spot today. And maybe you'll end up in the history books. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor in Speed Racing Network, feel free to head over to www.speedracingnetwork.com and reach out to an admin today. And as always, remember to go faster.
Back here on the track, coming to the stripe. This time to take 8 laps to go. Brandon Key in control for that inside lane. Ryan Steenbacher now finds himself out in front of Justin Patello there on the outside lane, but things starting to get a little squirrely here as these guys are considering making moves. There is that 3rd lane to the outside of Steenbacher's and Patello. We'll see who opts to make this thing 3 wide, but everybody staying in line so far. Still a lot of time left in this thing, even though it says 8 to go on the scoring pylon. Going to have another lap truck in front of him again. That's John Osborne coming up quickly. He did a great job getting out of the way last time. We'll do that again for these leaders here. But man, I have no clue at this point who is going to walk away with this thing. Ooh, this is going to be tough. Wow. They get by him cleanly there. They probably would have opted for him to take the outside lane, but hey, he stuck to that line and did a good job of doing just that. But coming to the stripe to take 7 laps to go, Steenbacher has the lead. Oh, and Steenbacher gets turned by Brandon Key in the turn. And our 7th caution of the night. We were watching that live when it happened. See if I can bring it up for you here. See exactly what happened. It looked like Steenbacher's was pretty clear after he made the move. Trying to find where it is. There we go. Taking a look here. So they can get another angle on what just happened here from the far chase cam. 799 takes the lead here. And then the 8 just kind of drove through him a little bit. Unfortunate for the 799 there as he has been up front all night long. And a lot of carnage happening behind them as well. Take a look from the Blimp Cam just to see how many trucks were involved in this one. Comes back up on the track, collects Sizik. And Anderson does a great job to avoid him, but then gets into Austin Reedy right there. and you saw Austin Reedy just disappeared. And that is a disqualification for the 111 truck that had worked his way all the way back up to the front of this thing. So a tough break for Austin Reedy as well, as Steenbacher is here, as this is going to get the field bunched all back up. So our leader going to be Tristan Bailey in the 003 Chevy Silverado. Just behind him going to be John T. Wimbish in the 56 Texaco Haviland truck. Tommy Haynes up to third after an up and down roller coaster of a night. And then Mr. Back-to-Back himself. I'm just going to bring it up again because I can't get over the fact that he is the two-time back-to-back winner here in the Rat Pack Cash Dash race and the two-time winner of the Sparkle and Shine Dirty Rat race as well. So knows how to get it done. Has had not quite the night that he was hoping for, but still finds himself in fourth place. So Lady Luck on his side again, and I think that he is going to have to make a permanent number change to be in that 224 for the rest of his iRacing career, because he is just on a roll in that thing. Seems like they're trying to get the scoring sorted out. So I believe Steenbacher's has moved back up to fourth place. Now Chris Bishop in fifth. So Michael Madden back in sixth place. Look at that truck. Just looks like it has been at a short track race, but I can assure you this is a super speedway. Nathan Nixon and a very clean number 88. I was thinking that he had already used his fast repair and was going to have some significant damage on that truck, but that thing is clean and ready to win a race potentially here tonight. Robbie Anderson just behind him. He's up 11 spots, running in 8th place. Travis Anderson, no relation, runs in 9th place, up 26 spots from where he started. Rounding out that top 10, going to be Brandon Richardson. Going through the rest of the field, Cody Madden in the Dale Earnhardt throwback Chevy Silverado finds himself in 11th place. Jordan Sailors in 12th. Bo Tiffany in 13th. Mike Mosby going to be in 14th, with Blair Holloman rounding out the top 15. Danny Dow in 16th. Rob Yost Jr. going to be in 17th. Nash Brambilla, probably one of my favorite names in this whole series, going to be in 18th. Brandon Browning going to be 19th, and Brandon Key finds himself back in 20th position. Justin Patello going to be 21st. Kyle Spees in 22nd. Daniel Keith Jr. in 23rd. Troy Techmeyer in 24th. And rounding out those positions eligible, to come away with that random draw for that $20 is going to be Andrew Santo. So getting this thing gridded back up. We're going to take the green with 3 laps to go for this cash. And, I mean, Tristan's basically got it written on his truck, but backwards. He wants to come away with that $300 cash prize for the winner here tonight. He missed out on an opportunity to do so last week. He made a little bit of a questionable move to the inside of some lapped cars and ultimately cost him his race, as he caused a caution there and was black flagged for doing so and passing under the yellow line, but doing it cleanly tonight. That truck is as clean as any truck out there and has been running up towards the front of this whole race. So all he's got to do is lead 3 more laps. He's going to come away with that $300, but still going to have a tough time to do so. He's got some steep competition up here running with him. So about to see that pace truck get ready to go down pit road, hopefully for the last time tonight. Seen 7 cautions on the night, hoping we don't see an 8th. We want to see this thing go all the way to the end. It's going to be an epic finish, so buckle in at home. And let them hear you, cheer them on, and get them to victory lane. They could use all the help they can get when it comes to super speedway racing. And we are back green here at Talladega. Wimble gets a good jump, but doesn't get the help he needs from behind. I think we're going to see some good momentum from these two guys on the inside lane. Tommy Haynes doing a great job in pushing Tristan Bailey. Wimbish going to get in behind 17 of Tommy Haynes. Tommy looking to possibly make a move to the outside, but not doing so just yet. Nathan Nixon now making that move to go to the outside. Tommy sees it. Tristan's going to block him. Unable to do so. Tommy's got a big run. Tristan's just got to be careful not to get moved on by John T. Wimbish now, but Tommy's going to clear Tristan. Oh, and it's getting dicey back here. Mike Mosby got a little squirrely in the middle of the pack, but everybody keeps it straight. Back up front, Tommy Haynes leading the charge, but Nathan Nixon now looking to get out in front of this thing, being pushed by none other than Michael Madden himself. 2 laps to go here at Talladega. Oh! Big one back here. Big wreck. Botello involved. That's Kyle Spees involved. I believe Tyler Murray survived another one. As that truck's still looking clean. Let's see what happened. Botello makes a move to the outside. I think Danny Dow might have got into Mike Mosby a little bit there. Let's take a look at that again. Yeah, Danny gets Mike a little loose. And then that's what happens when these guys blink out. Let's see if we can get another look here. Mike Mosby potentially. Is he still in this thing? I don't believe so. Well, let's go take a look from Tyler Murray. He has been surviving these things all night long. Sees it happening, instantly gets on the brakes and just practically parks the truck as all these guys are just bouncing all over each other. And Murray survives another one here. Unbelievable. So a lot of front runners that we were seeing up front all night long involved in that one, the big one. I think that was our biggest wreck of the night and our 8th caution. So 8 cautions in 75 laps. You do the math, not a lot of green flag racing here tonight. But that's going to give the lead to Tommy Haynes in that number 17 Toyota Tundra. Just behind him, going to be Tristan Bailey. And then Nathan Nixon going to be running in third with that beautiful beard he's got there. And the man that just won't go away, Michael Madden, finds himself in 4th and in position to possibly go back to back to back here in the Rat Pack Racing Cash Dash. John T. Wimbish going to round out that top 5. Robert Anderson running in 6th place. Chris Bishop going to be in 7th. Cody Madden now up to 8th place. Brandon Richardson running in 9th. And rounding out our top 10, going to be Bo Tiffany. So those are going to be our money spots here for this number 4 race in the Rat Pack Racing Cash Dash. one of these guys is going to come away with some significant spending money here tonight. So pace truck lights are off. That is going to give us one more opportunity to take a quick commercial break and help pay some bills here at SRN. So stay tuned.
Want to be a part of an established league on iRacing? A league that's competitive, fun, and above all fair? Look no further than Speed Racing Network. Originally known as Mid-South Madness, SRN has evolved into a league that can bring the best out in any given driver. Drivers work their way up through the ranks to hopefully one day call themselves a champion of Speed Racing Network. If you're interested in joining, don't hesitate to reach out to league admins to claim your spot today. Maybe you'll end up in the history books. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor in Speed Racing Network, feel free to head over to www.speedracingnetwork.com and reach out to an admin today. And as always, remember to go faster.
Well, thank you guys, as always, once again, for stopping by and being a part of tonight's broadcast. It means a lot to all of us here at Speed Racing Network. It means even more if you go ahead and hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe at the same time so you know anytime that we go live. You can see all the action here unfold on YouTube as well as Facebook and Twitch. So a lot of avenues for you guys to watch these races on. But nonetheless, you get to watch the action anywhere with SRN. So getting the field gridded back up. It's going to be our first attempt at a green-white checker here tonight at Talladega. It's going to come down to one of these guys running up front. Tommy Haynes has worked his magic here tonight and has gotten that 17 truck out into that spot that pays in that Toyota Tundra. But Tristan Bailey has been there all night long, looking to get that first win in this series in that Chevy Silverado. But you can't count out the man in that 224 truck who has won the last two races here in the Rat Pack Racing Cash Dash. And he's got a teammate there right next to him and Nathan Nixon. So I can see that they are in the same Discord. In fact, they're going to be talking and working together quite a bit, and they might be the guys that make this thing three wide and try to go on that top lane to secure the victory here tonight. Rounding turns 3 and 4 with the pace truck lights off. We are going to see that pace truck come off and give the field to Tommy Haynes. He'll be able to go whenever he wants, but he can't get out too far. If he gets too far away from Nathan Nixon, that is going to give the rest of the field a big run on him, potentially put himself in bad shape and in a bad position to possibly not win this thing here tonight. So might be working with the 88. Who knows? Too bad you can't stick a virtual hand out the window to kind of wave them on when you start to go. But we'll see just how well it works as they are getting ready to go back green for this first attempt at a green-white checker.
Green flag, green flag.
And we are green, and they are getting going as they're grinding through these gears. 2 laps to go. Madden giving a big push to Tristan Bailey there on the outside. Oh, Madden's got to be really careful there. Robert Anderson got oh so close to putting the bumper to that 224's rear end. Could have sent him spinning through this field, but they keep it going straight as it's a drag race down the backstretch. See Tyler Murray. He's going to be that first truck to take it to the outside. He's going to bring Jordan Sailors with him, as well as Cody Madden. So 3 trucks now on that high line. Coming to the stripe if it stays green to take the white flag. I believe they're all going to stay off of each other, even though we're 3 wide coming through the dog leg. 1 lap to go. Oh, but we got trucks wrecking back there. Going to stay with this lead pack, though, as it's 1 lap to go regardless. No caution going to come out and end this thing. See when Nathan Nixon opts to make his move. See if Wimbish goes with him. He's going to go up in front of Tristan Bailey. Tristan not going to work with him. We're going to have a 3-wide race to the end, but Nathan Nixon's got Jordan Sailors with him. It is a duel to the end between these 3 up front. Nathan Nixon so far has the edge. Jordan Sailor's doing a great job of pushing that 88. It's going to be a drag race to the end of this thing. Tommy Haynes getting some big momentum. They're bouncing off of one another. Oh, it's a wreck. And Chris Bishop goes by all of it and wins this thing. Unbelievable what we just saw right there. Wow. I'm downright speechless right now. That was insane. We're going to have to go back and take a look at what just happened. But before that, we're going to go ahead and enjoy this Speed Racing Network winning moment. I can only imagine what is going through Bishop's mind right now. I'm not even sure he was running in the top 10 coming out of turn 4. Comes away with the win here tonight in that $300 grand prize. Unbelievable. Whew, so yeah, burning it down for everybody in the stands. Trying to get this replay, queued back up because that was wild. So let's see if we can go ahead and bring what just happened back up. You see Chris Bishop right there. So all these guys just kind of beating off the other doors here, and then they all just wreck. And Chris Bishop goes right on by. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like that. Let's take another look here from a different perspective and just show Bishop was running 7th, about 200 yards away from the stripe. And then everybody just clears out of the way, and he goes right on by. Go on board inside the cockpit of Bishop. Too bad you can't see a fist pump, because I can only imagine that was what was going on. He was just settling in right here, going to finish in the top 10, and then comes away winning this thing. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Whew. Well, let's go ahead and give you guys a rundown of the finishing results tonight. Bishop's still out there celebrating. There you see it up at the top of the boards in that 14 machine. Chris Bishop, our winner here tonight. John T. Wimbish going to come home in second after flipping across the start-finish line. Tommy Haynes going to round out the top 3. Jordan Sailors coming home in 4th. Rob Yost Jr. with a top 5. Tyler Murray in 6th place. Tristan Bailey coming home in 7th. 8th place going to be Brandon Richardson. 9th going to be Nash Brambilla, my favorite name by far in this series. 10th going to be Craig Lautenslager. 11th going to be Blair Holloman. 12th going to be Bo Tiffany. 13th going to Robert Anderson. And 14th going to go to Andrew Santo. And there you see Nathan Nixon in 15th. A lap down, that means that he was disqualified from the end of this race, practically 10 feet from the start-finish line, and loses it all there at the end. Michael Madden also disqualified there at the end, comes home in 16th. Cody Madden, his brother, going to be in 17th. Troy Techmeyer coming home in 18th. Brandon Browning going to come home 19th, while Aaron Roth going to round out the top 20 here tonight. So let's go ahead, see if we can get to the interview portion of this thing. And we got Tommy Haynes in the booth with us. Tommy, that was an insane finish to this race. Tell us about your run up to the front and tell us what was going on in your head when you saw all the chaos unfold there at the end.
Can you repeat that? Because I caught about half of what you said when you was talking.
Oh, no problem. I was just saying, just tell us what was going on through your head when you saw all that chaos unfold just in front of you and you still come away with a third place finish.
Yeah, I had my partner John was behind me. He was pushing me, and I caught the apron there a little bit coming to the line, and I think it sent me up a little bit, but I was just trying to hold on and just try to get a top three, man. That was a heck of a finish right there.
Oh, man, that was unlike anything I've ever seen before. But you made some great strides. It was kind of an up and down day for you in the 17 truck out there. Tell us about what your strategy was coming into today and at what point in the race it changed.
Well, my strategy was just to dodge all the wrecks and just run, keep the pack in front of me right there where I could, when it was time to go, I could go. And I missed 2 or 3, maybe even 4 or 5 wrecks, and I just kept going down pit road, fueling up with gas, and then with about 20 to go, I still had that quick repair, and I said, well, let's just go on and go. So if I get wrecked, at least I had a quick repair left. So.
Yeah, well, it worked out for you coming home in third place. But before we let you go, you got any friends, any family, any sponsors you want to give a shout out to?
I'd like to give a shout out to Autos by Nelson out here in Martinsville, Virginia. Go see Barry for a car. I'd like to thank David and everybody for putting this on every other Friday. Thank y'all for the broadcast. Y'all do one heck of a job, and looking forward to running in y'all's league here coming up pretty soon. So
we're looking forward to having you.
Oh yeah, me and John both gonna be racing, so I can't wait. So. But y'all do a heck of a job, man. I'll go back and watch this. This ought to be a good one.
Well, I appreciate it. You're going to hear me talking a lot as it's just me tonight, but I appreciate the kind words, Tommy, and looking forward to seeing what you can do here at Speed Racing Network. So have fun celebrating that third place, and have a good night, buddy.
Yeah, thank you, man. Y'all too.
All right, that was Tommy Haynes coming home with that third place finishing position. Let's go ahead and get up to the runner-up of tonight's race. That's going to be John T. Wimbush. And John, tell us about what just happened out there on the track, and the chaos that unfolded before our eyes on that last 100 feet.
Yeah, it was just me making a decision not to lift. Trying to make the best of it, trying to help my teammate there out in that 17, trying to help Tommy, but he got a little crossed up with the 88, sent him down below the yellow line, and by then, I was like, I'm just going to stay in it and stay on him. But instead, I wound up hooking him. And here we are, second, third, upside down coming across the line.
Hey, it still counts the same in the scoring book. So congratulations on that second place finish. You heard you guys are going to be running with us in Speed Racing Network here this year. Does this just get you more excited to be running with these guys, as it's been some really good racing from time to time? Others maybe not so much, but for the most part, been some pretty good racing.
Yeah, it does. That's one main thing that he and my buddy Tommy, were looking for, is a league where we can go in and have fun and run well. And we've been having a lot of fun here with these guys. And this league, they do a tremendous amount of work to put this on. So we appreciate them for that and allowing us to come and do this. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting started with the league there and getting the year going.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing what you guys can do, man. I'm getting used to seeing you and Tommy running up towards the front of this thing. You were a pole sitter last week at Daytona, and find yourself up here running towards the front again here in this fourth race here at Rat Pack Racing Cash Dash. So once again, congrats on the second place finish. But before we let you go, you got any friends, any family, any sponsors you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, autosbynelson.com. Tommy and I both run that. Biggest car dealer here in Martinsville, Virginia area. So if you're looking for a new car, used car, check them out. Appreciate everybody here at the league. They do a great job, and appreciate you guys putting this on. So gives us something to look forward to. Go back and watch later on.
Yeah, well, it'll be a good one to watch, buddy. So do go back and watch it all, because it was a lot of action packed throughout this race. But appreciate the kind words, and we look forward to seeing what you do here in the upcoming weeks here at SRN. So congrats again, and have a good night, bud.
10-4, thank you. Too.
All right, that was John T. Wimbish coming home in the second place position. But the man that I want to talk to is going to be our winner tonight. Chris Bishop comes from the dead, running in 7th in the last 100 feet. He just goes right to first. Chris, you got to be feeling some sort of feeling right now, huh?
Yes, my first big win.
Well, tell us what's going on through your head, and what was going through your head is you saw all that chaos unfold in front of you.
I was just trying to hold a clean line and not be the one to cause the big one at the end. And seas parted, and I saw the stripe.
Yeah, you found yourself around a lot of trouble through this race, as there was a caution-filled race, unlike the last one we had. Tell us your strategy throughout tonight and how you kept it clean enough to get it to the end of this thing and ultimately win it.
Well, I was involved in the first caution, and tore me up pretty bad. I had to end up using my fast repair, and from there I just kind of figured I'd hang in the back. And throughout the race, I just kept creeping my way up and trying to stay out of trouble. That 13X rule's tough to get a win and get to the finish with that. So we were just trying to stay out of trouble throughout the race and just kept creeping my way up. And then there, with about 10 to go, 15 to go, we had a caution, or we took fuel and tried to go from there.
Well, yeah, you said it. The seas parted, and you just drove on to winning this thing and pocketing $300. So congratulations on that. But before we let you go, bud, you got any friends, any family, any sponsors you want to give a quick shout out to?
Yeah, I'd like to shout out Murray Reedy Motorsports, everybody over there, Tyler Murray and Austin Reedy. They helped me out a bunch, and we all worked together tonight and tried to take the trucks to the front.
Well, you did just that. Tyler Murray had a great run as well out there, as well as Austin Reedy getting himself in some trouble, unfortunately. But you brought it home for the team, and congrats again on doing just that. So have fun celebrating with everybody, and have a good night.
Thanks, Greg. Tell everybody over at Murray Reedy the beers are on me tonight.
All right, I'm sure they'll know that in the next couple of minutes, as I'm sure they are watching and super excited for you, bud. So have fun celebrating, man.
All right, thank you.
Well, there you guys have it. That was an insane finish that I just want to go back and see one more time before we wrap this thing up. Our winner running in 7th place, he said it that he was just going to sit there, didn't want to be the guy to cause caution. Everybody else did in front of him, and he walks away a winner here tonight. But that is going to do it for us. Just want to give another quick shout out to all of our sponsors that make it possible to run this thing at the Rat Pack Racing Cash Dash. Elite Performance Industries. Go ahead and check them out if you're interested in any type of setup, any type of coaching, paint schemes, any type of apparel you're looking for. They got it for you. Flavor Bomb. Go ahead and check them out at fbbbq.com. Like I said, it's almost grilling season, so get yourself all set up with them. Sparkle and Shine Mobile Detailing. They have all your detailing needs, and as well as becoming a leather repair certified company now. So if you got some seats or any type of leather that needs to be repaired, check out Sparkle and Shine Mobile Detailing. Allie.Duke at minivanvacations.com. Who can't use a vacation? Go ahead and send her an email. She'll get you all set up. Last but not least, Dave Jr. Graphics. That reminds me, I need to bring Dave up here to go ahead and award our random driver. Dave, I almost forgot. We have a random driver to award $20 to tonight.
Yeah, someone patiently waiting in the wings, I suppose,
Yeah.
to see if they're the lucky winner tonight.
Well, let's hear it. Who you got?
All right, let's spin the wheel and see what we got here. That is going to go to the 24th position. 24th position.
So on my scoring, I'm seeing that being Casey Latimer.
That is what I got as well.
All right, so the 03 of Casey Latimer are going to come away with that $20 random draw. So he gets his entry fee back. So Dave, appreciate you coming up here in the booth and announcing that winner and everything that you guys do for this league. It's been a lot of fun so far.
Absolutely. Hope it was a good show, and we'll be doing this again in 2 more weeks.
Yes, sir. We'll see you then. Have a good night, bud.
All right, Greg. Thanks. You too.
All right, so Casey Latimer coming away with that random draw for $20 here tonight. But that is going to do it for us here at Speed Racing Network. Like I said, I sincerely appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in here tonight and joining me, as this was one of the most wild races I think I've called in my iRacing career. So once again, if you liked what you saw, go ahead and hit that like button, as well as going ahead and hit that subscribe button so you know any time that we go live. But that's going to do it for us here tonight. Go enjoy the Busch Clash here this weekend at the LA Coliseum. We've got some racing again out on the track, but that is going to be it for here at Talladega. As always, have a good night, and remember to go faster.